Wow. Well, it was my first. It was my first concert in Poland. In fact, or my first con actually. In fact, I think it may have been my first overseas con ever.
Oh.
For some reason, I seem to be especially popular in Poland. I've never really figured it out. Some people say it's because Stanislaw Lem was Polish, but later I went to Ukraine and they say Stanislaw Lem was Ukrainian. So I guess the
No, not
borders
really.
changed a lot post-war, and everybody and their dog is claiming Stanislaw Lem. But it was great. I mean, it was compared to the kind of staid, stick up the ass cons that we had over here in Canada. I think I must have like gone for a day and a half without eating anything. I just kind of forgot to eat. There was
Yeah.
I've got to ask you, maybe I've asked you about this already like 11 years ago. Thumb partying. Does thumb partying?
Yeah. It was a thumb party. Yeah, I remember.
Partying? I've spoken to other, like about a few months after I went to Zielona Góra.
Zielona Góra.
I ended up in Polcon, and they'd never heard of this thumb partying thing. But yeah, you basically you stick your thumb in anything with high alcohol,
yeah,
and then you light your thumb on fire, and it's. I don't know if this was something that kind of occurred in sort of the wake of Soviet occupation, and there wasn't much heating fuel or anything around. That was kind of a blast. Something about the place killed all my electronics, as I recall. My laptop crashed, my camera crashed, all my thumb drives got wiped. I do not know why. It was kind of worth it. It was, I mean, the whole place had this sort of a surrealistic vibe to it. The fact that you have a museum of wine and torture.
Yeah,
the fact that I mean, those are not things that you would normally expect to go together, right? The fact that, well, when I was there, it was in the middle of your local wine festival, and yet I couldn't get wine at the hotel you guys were putting me up at. They said that they couldn't afford the licensing fees for Polish wine. We were in the middle of a vineyard. I would look out my window and there were these grapes, these plants going, out to the horizon.
I know, but this has already changed. We've got plenty of local wines and vineyards, and you can buy the local wine many places.
I tried at the restaurant. I could get German wine. I could get, I didn't even know
11 years ago, wine. Yes, it was a problem. Today, it's much better.
I like somebody told me that the European Union had classified Polish wine as hazardous waste, technically, or something. I don't know. And then it was the Museum of Wine and Torture had this quote from Frederick II: "Fortunate indeed are those who have never sampled Polish wine."
Yeah.
So I don't know. I still have not had Polish wine, but and maybe that's to my good fortune. But I do remember the mead tasting, man. I remember this matrix of little glasses, and there was a gradient, down in one corner of this quadrant. The mead was it was almost like water. It was almost looking like tap water. And down at the other end, it was like molasses. And you had this wonderful smooth. I'm not misremembering this, am I? I didn't.
Yeah. It was. This is a local product as well. We do plenty of
and that
like
was you guys have got a great little underground alcohol culture. Like
right now,
everybody has a still in their basement. I mean, I shouldn't have, I don't want to like squid spleen to you about Polish culture, but it was something that kind of struck me, how everybody brewed up their own concoctions. When I was in Falcon a few months later, I ended up sampling some homemade moonshine that somebody's parents had made, and it literally made my lips tingle. The only time I have felt like that was when I was trying to kill bed bugs in my apartment, and I got this under the table illegal neurotoxic poison that you were supposed to spray around to kill the bed bugs, and I must have gotten some on my skin, and my fingers started tingling and stuff. That was the same thing I got from the moonshine. You had coffee vodka, 70% coffee vodka.
Yeah, it was the Tam party.
Yeah. No, I mean, it was wild. I'm sorry, I'm not even remembering much about science fiction. I'm just remembering the extracurricular events. There was I never did. There was apparently some people, like I was. Everybody liked Blind Sight, and apparently there was this traveling roadshow doing some kind of an impromptu performance art interpretation of Blind Sight that was kind of improvised on stage, and you had a character with blindfold and somebody else with like the three monkeys, see no evil, hear no evil. And that was on tour. I never saw that. I tried to go see it on Falcon later, but I showed up at the theater and no one was there. I guess they all slept in or something. So it was that was something that I kind of wished I had seen. Your translators leave something to be desired. As I recall, the first translator you gave me was like, she refused to translate profanity of any kind. She refused to translate any reference to genitals of any sort. I remember I made some kind of, I'd been writing a novelization of a video game at the time, and I always thought it kind of stupid that the aliens had this armor, but the armor had body parts sort of hanging out on all sides. It didn't seem like very effective armor. I made some kind of a comment about the aliens having their dicks hanging out. Like, I didn't find out until later. But I knew there was something wrong, because whenever I talked in the Q&A, whenever I would say something that I thought was pretty funny, all the people who understood English would laugh, and everybody else would just kind of look perplexed. And it turned out that the translator was just refusing to translate anything with a sexual connotation or anything that had any kind of scatological or sacrilegious implications. It was weird. I think you guys replaced her after the first day, but I found that kind of odd. You remember that? Is this coming back to you?
Yeah. I remember there was probably a guy after.
There was a guy, and I ended up getting two.
Conrad? Yeah.
There was a guy and a woman, and I don't know, to this day, I don't know which one of them was supposed to be the official one and which one kind of jumped in and which one of them kind of just jumped in and volunteered.
Yeah. Okay, but
it was that was okay. What else? Oh, yeah, there's a guy, what was his name? Witold something.
Witold Staromuński, yeah. It was a recitation, yeah?
Yes, yeah, he was, and he is, like, I feel so bad because it was 2011, and his name was I was gonna end up using him as a character in the next novel, but the fact is that novel still has not been written. I'm actually working on the third novel in the Blind Sight series, so I think I'm just gonna. I've given up on it. I'm gonna just port him over, and I'm gonna make him a character in Omniscience.
You were supposed to kill him in some.
He's gonna die. He's gonna die, but he has to live in the novel first.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's been over a decade now, right? And I don't even know if he's still alive. He might be.
He's still in our association, yeah.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
still
No, it's
can
it's like
sometimes.
I haven't forgotten. I mean, I will never, until the day I die, I will never be able to pronounce his last name. I'm still stumbling over his first name, but I know he's in there. I know how to spell it. I've got it written down somewhere. He gave me some instructions on how to swear in Polish, so his character is going to know how to swear in Polish. I think I'm going to make him an expat on loan to the American military after civilization has collapsed. He'll be sort of in this military outpost in the Oregon desert, and he will encounter the zombie Dan Brooks. I know what he's going to do, but I just, for the longest time, I was holding out for this book called Intelligent Design that has been sort of in perpetual development, but other things keep coming up. So
we can expect something new from
hopefully,
you.
Hopefully he will die in the novel before he dies in real life. That would really suck. I feel badly about that. Oh, and I at the sort of the after-con party, somebody wanted me to, I ended up writing like a 2-sentence story.
Yeah.
And I was not entirely sober at the time, which seemed to just kind of be par for the course. I mean, none of you guys seem to be sober a lot of the time. So I was just kind of fitting in. And I wrote this 2-sentence story so that somebody could take a picture in the middle of this party with the caption, Peter Watts, hard at work writing a story. And it was like a 2-sentence story about some Jewish kid in space who gets killed by a micrometeorite that hulls his helmet on the day of his bar mitzvah. It was like the worst bar mitzvah ever. It was just this 2-sentence story, and I kind of forgot about it. And recently it resurfaced because the Russians wanted to reprint it in a collection. This was before the Russians turned into like the big bogeymen, right? This was back when we were all more or less at peace. This was last year sometime, and they wanted to do a collection of my stories. And I don't know how the hell they even found out about this, right? It never got published anywhere. It was 2 sentences that I wrote in a drunken stupor during an after party.
I don't really remember the moment.
But they heard about it, and they actually, like, I had to go back through my archives. I don't even remember what it was called. Character's name was Sidney Cates. And yeah, somehow they found out about it and I refused to let them have it. I mean, it would be like publishing a grocery list or something. But yeah, somehow that dumb little 2-sentence story that I wrote for you guys in 2011 ended up making its way, at least knowledge of it, ended up in the hands of Russian publishers who wanted to.
Nice.
I mean, I probably should have let them have it. Yeah, I should, take all the money that they pay me for my Russian translation books and just feed it back into the Ukrainian military or some kind of a humanitarian thing to support the war effort. But of course, all those deals have long since fallen through. We don't know what's going to happen now.